Hi, this is Wolf from Wolf-Tek with a quick demonstration and tutorial video on using the fence builder. Now, every fence builder, all the different designs come in two versions. There's a ground version and a platform version, so please make sure you use the right one. Otherwise you'll get very unpredictable results. So I'm going to use the ground version of the log fence builder here for demonstration. Now this is the builder itself, the one with an arrow pointing out of it. Don't worry about that arrow at the moment, it turns itself around and points in the direction it's building. It's there for features that will be added later on, so don't worry about that at the moment. This second post is resed by the builder itself almost instantly. Now the builder marks the start point of a fence and the extra pole marks the end point. Okay, so let's demonstrate that. I'll move that over there. Again, you don't have to turn the arrow round. Just really shows you which post is the one with the control and the menu. So move the end post over there, and then we are going to click this to get a menu, and I'm going to click build. Okay, now that's resed us out a fence. The red posts mean that it's still in edit mode at the moment, so we can clear it with a command. Now you can see here that as we've built down a steep slope, the rails have had trouble meeting up here. Now all of this is modifiable once you've saved it, so you could go in and manually edit that if you want to, but in this case I'm going to try and find a slightly less steep way round to do that. So I'm going to click the clear option from the menu. So those red posts indicated that that's still editable using the menu. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually move this across just a little way because the slope isn't quite so steep over here, and build again and just have a check. And yep, that looks okay. Some of the rails not quite coming up, but that's fine. Okay, and we're quite happy where it ended, so happy with that stage. Now we click save. All the posts turn, take to their normal colour. Okay, all the reds are gone, so none of those commands will work now that we have up here. Clear, for example, all the scripts have been taken out of those. They're modifiable, as I say, so you can make whatever changes you need to manually. But you'll also notice that our start post jumped. It used to be back here, and this was where our end post was, but the start post is now on here and the end post has moved out of the way. And that's because the system is set up to allow you to build a long continuous fence in sections. So I'm going to take our end post here, and I'll show you that it's pretty easy. As long as you have hold of the end post and use the menu, which keeps popping up for you over here as it does each section, then it makes it pretty speedy to use it, because you can just keep your edit control on the end post. So I'm going to build. So just keep an eye on it, make sure you're not going up and down any steep bits. Okay, and happy with that, save it. So each time you build, you want to either save or clear. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next section, do it down there and build. Very, very steep slope down there. You can see it's actually broken the railings. Again, you can leave that as is, you can find another way around, you can edit the fence afterwards, you can delete the sections, whatever you need to do really. But generally try and avoid building on really steep slopes. You wouldn't do that in real life, and it doesn't work very well with the fence builder in here. Okay, so well, we're going to leave it like that for the sake of the demo, and we can come back and edit it at the end. Okay, so I'm going to save, move it on to the next section, build, save that one. So each time you save, it takes all the little red posts off there and it jumps it onto the next one, so it's fairly clear. And build, and save, and build the next section. Now let's suppose you forget to save it. Okay, you'd notice because the post hasn't moved here, but if you forget to save it and you move your post onto your next area and you click build again, you'll see that what you've actually done is build two fences here, because you never saved the last one, so this never moved. Okay, you could move it manually if you wanted to and do section after section without saving it, but I wouldn't recommend it, because then if you do make a mistake, everything will be erased. Okay, so I've realised that what I've done here, as I say, just for the demonstration, is to forget to save it. It's not a problem, just clear it, take it back to where you want it, and res that section again. There we go, and save. This time it jumps, so we know we've done it right. And build, save, and up here, build, and save. Okay, now let's cover some other options here. There's a button on here for the new fence. Now when we started building here, we got a post at the start. It was just a post on its own. It didn't put the railings out, they're tucked away inside. And that's because obviously each time we build, we're only building one post and a set of railings so that we don't get multiple posts in the same place. So the very first section of fence, it creates that post for us, and everything else then tags along, adds a post with railings back to the last one. Okay. So again, each time I've moved it, it's created that last post with railings on it. So if we started a new fence now and we moved both ends, we wouldn't get a start post anymore. So that's what this is for. If we click new fence, it moves everything out of the way to indicate that we're going to build a new fence. So this one I'm going to build inside the other one. Put my start post down here. You don't have to put the control points down into the ground, but I find it better to see where I'm working that way, and build a new fence. And as you can see, it's given us a fence post at either end, and that would then carry on if we wanted to extend the fence and so forth. The other thing that we have on the menu here is spacing. Now this is at 3 meter spacing at the moment. Now that's what we've decided is a really good default for this sort of style of fence. It looks pretty good for that, but you can change that. So if we wanted to, we can change the spacing to, let's say, 10 meters, and then build, and we get a much bigger gap on the fence posts there. That works okay with fairly flat land. It will have more problems on steeper land than even the shorter one does. Okay, so let's clear it and go the other way to show you the minimum value, which is 0.5 meter, and build that. And then we have a fairly extreme example of the posts being very tight together, but again it's following the terrain there, sort of mapping along behind it. So you can choose the spacing before you start building your fence, or if you started a new fence. Okay, and then when we're all done, let's clear that. We've got a button down here for a user guide, which is just a copy of the one that came in the box in case you lose it. And we have a button in the middle there called finished. So when we finished our fence on here, we just click finished, and it tidies up the end post and the controller for us. So there we have our fence. As I say, we'd need to do a few manual changes to this. We might decide to manually adjust those posts, for example. So that's not a difficult thing to do. I'll leave it for now. But what I'm going to do is, on this occasion, I'm just going to decide that I want to take those out. So I'm just going to pick those two, unlink them, make sure we haven't got the post selected, and delete them. Okay, so you've got full control over those things afterwards. And that's it. That's the fence builder at work. I hope you like it. Lots of different styles. Saves hours and hours of work, and I think it builds a pretty good fence. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.